Then as I said, our enema, for the enema kind of emulsion we should use the starch as an emulsifying agent. Understand? So let's move to our another example, that is iris mosa. Iris mos, not iris mosa, it's iris mos. Okay, is iris mos. So iris mos also used as a emulsifying agent, and it falls under the natural emulsifying agent from vegetable sources, as like starch, pectin, agar, tragacanth, gum acacia. Iris mos also obtained from the vegetable sources. Okay, vegetable sources. Due to that, it also contain the carbohydrate kind of material, right? Then let's start. That is, it is also popular with its chondrous name. Also popular with its chondrous name, right? Means the another name of our iris mos is a chondrous, also popular or famous with a name that is chondrous. Understand? Chondrous, right? Chondrous. Actually, it is used as a thickening agent. It is used as a thickening agent. Means in general, with a means in general, iris mos act as a thickening agent for the various kind of preparation. You know the thickening agent that is generally used in our suspension preparation, right? Used in the preparation of suspension, means it enhance the viscosity of our preparation. That is a thickening agent, right? So generally, or actually, or commonly used, iris mos used as a thickening agent, right? Then it is used along with gum acacia for a emulsion containing cod liver oil. It is helped to mask the unpleasant odor and taste of the oil. Generally, it's 3% solution used as a emulsifying agent, right? So what is it? Means it's popular with its another name, that is chondrous. Then commonly used as a thickening agent with any concentration, not a concentration. Also, iris mos available in powder form, and it act as a thickening agent, but in a specific concentration it act as a emulsifying agent, right? So what is that is, it is used along with gum acacia for emulsion containing cod liver oil. If we are going to prepare a emulsion containing the cod liver oil, that is a cod liver oil, that is a one kind of oil that has a medicated value. Means cod liver oil possesses the some medicinal value, means it has a medicinal effect, right? Then if we are try to make a emulsion containing the cod liver oil is a active drug, right? If we are going to prepare a emulsion containing cod liver oil, that time there is a reference, that is we should use the iris mos with a gum acacia. Means we have to use the, whenever we are going to prepare a emulsion containing cod liver oil, we have to add a two kind of emulsifying agent, that is mixture of two kind of emulsifying agent, that is gum acacia and iris mos. gum acacia and iris mos Gum acacia and iris mos, right? And due to mixture of this two kind of emulsifying agent, that able to mask the unpleasant odor and taste of oil. Means in a individual form, means in a natural form, the cod liver oil has a unpleasant or bad odor. It gives a unpleasant smell or unpleasant odor and unpleasant taste. Means as it is, we can't take the cod liver oil. As it is, we can't take the cod liver oil because it's give a unpleasant and unpleasant odor or taste, right? So due to for this reason, for masking unpleasant taste and odor of cod liver oil, we should use the two kind of emulsifying agent, that is gum acacia and erismos and gum acacia, in which the erismos help to mask the unpleasant odor and taste of our oil, right? So it is very important to remember the name of erismosa as an emulsifying agent, right, whenever we are going to prepare a cod liver oil emulsion, right? And don't forget to add a gum acacia along with erismos, right? So I think you are understand. Then generally it's 3% solution used as a emulsifying agent. So there is a one specific statement, that is specific uh, concentration are given here, give here, that is 3% solution, as like our agar pectin. There is also recommendation for concentration of our erismos solution, that is 3%. We should use the 3% solution of erismos as a emulsifying agent, right? So this is the all about our natural emulsifying agent obtained from vegetable sources, right? Means gum acacia, tragacanth, then agar, pectin, starch and erismos are obtained from the vegetable source, right? That's why it is called as a natural emulsifying agent from the obtained from the vegetable sources, right? Means from the plant sources, we can obtain it from the plant sources, right? And it contain a carbohydrate kind of material. It contain a carbohydrate kind of material. Due to this, there is a one very important recommendation, that is it whenever we are going to, or whenever we will use the natural kind of emulsifying agent which is obtained from vegetable sources, we need to add a preservative. We need to add a suitable kind of preservative, because it contain a carbohydrate, and carbohydrate are very susceptible to the bacterial, are susceptible to the bacteria, because bacteria are easily able to easily grow in a carbohydrate, because carbohydrate act as a suitable media for the growth of bacteria, right? And if our if the bacteria grow in our emulsion, that time our emulsion become decomposed, degraded, right, and spoil also, right? That's why we should remember this statement. We should add a preservative, right, for the preservation of our emulsion. Understand? So it's all about our natural emulsifying agent from the vegetable sources, right? So okay, are you understand now what? So let's see our another classification of our emulsifying agent, right? So it is a similar, that is natural emulsifying agent from animal sources. From the animal sources means whatever we was discussed in our previous slide, that all was the relating to the vegetable sources, right? Means obtained from the vegetable sources, but we will discuss other example which are obtained from the animal sources, occur naturally, but the sources are animal, right? From the animal we can found the emulsifying agent, right? So first of all, so we have to see the example, right? That is a wool fat, egg yolk, then gelatin, right? So these are the three kind of emulsifying agent which can obtain from the animal, right? So fat, wool fat, right? Then egg yolks, then gelatin. Gelatin generally obtained from the fish or some intestinal portion of any animal. Then egg yolk are obtained from the hen. Then wool fat, then fat also obtained from the animal, right? So let's discuss the our first example, that is wool fat, right? Wool fat. So how, we will see the how our wool fat act as a emulsifying agent, then for which kind of, for preparation of which kind of emulsion we should use the wool fat. Okay, so these are the some information we will discuss in our this kind of example, that is wool fat. So let's see, added to emulsion for external use, added to emulsion for external use, it produces a OW type of emulsion. It can absorb about 50% of water, right? So wool fat added to emulsion for external use means there is a given the specification that if we need to prepare external kind of emulsion, that is external kind of emulsion means our WO kind of emulsion, WO kind of emulsion, oil in water kind, water in oil kind of emulsion, water in oil kind of emulsion means our external. Water in oil kind of emulsion means it water in oil kind of emulsion has a continuous phase as the oil, right? And the dispersed phase is a water, right? That's why like our cream, cold cream, right? Cold cream are the example of our lotions, are the example of our externally used emulsion, right? And for the preparation of this kind of marketed product, we need to add a wool fat, we need to add a wool fat, or by using the wool fat we can prepare the external kind of emulsion, right? So let's see, it produces a OW kind of emulsion means we can select the wool fat as a emulsifying agent if we need to prepare, or if we are going to prepare a OW kind of emulsion or externally applied emulsion, right? Then it can absorb about 50% of water, it can absorb about the 50% of water means it is a one character or one kind of features of our wool fat, that is wool fat able to absorb the 50% of our water, 50% of our water. Due to the this reason, it is generally included in the cold cream, included in the cold cream, because uh, when we will use the cold cream, when we are feeling the dryness in our skin, that time we are going to add a use the cold cream, because cold cream retain the moisture in our skin, right? That's why it become very helpful, that is our wool fat has a property that is absorb the 50% of water, right? That's why it is generally or commonly used in the प्रिपरेशन ऑफ कोल्ड क्रीम टाइप ऑफ इमल्शन, राइट? जो कोल्ड क्रीम होता है वो क्या होता है, जो कोल्ड क्रीम का कब अप्लाई करते हैं, जब ड्राइनेस होता है या फिर विंटर सीजन में जब ड्राइनेस फील होता है, तब जाके क्या होता है, कोल्ड क्रीम हम लोग अप्लाई करते हैं, ठीक है? तो कोल्ड क्रीम एक्चुअली क्या करता है, जो वाटर जो मॉइस्चर है हमारी स्किन पे रिटेन करके रखता है, वो मॉइस्चर है फिर वाटर प्रोवाइड करता है, इसकी वजह से जो स्किन है वो सॉफ्ट हो जाता है, ठीक है? तो जो वो सॉफ्ट होने का रीज़न इस एक वूल फैट की वजह से भी होता है, क्योंकि वूल फैट जो है 50% जो वाटर है वो एब्जॉर्ब करके रखता है, और उसकी वजह से हमें मॉइस्चरनेस प्रोवाइड करता है, सॉफ्टनेस प्रोवाइड करता है। अगर हम लोग वूल फैट अगर इमल्सिफाइंग एजेंट में एज इमल्सिफाइंग एजेंट हम लोग इमल्शन में यूज़ करते हैं, एक्चुअली बेसिकली वूल फैट यूज़ किया जाता है कोल्ड क्रीम में, ठीक है? सो यू शुड रिमेंबर इट, राइट? सो इट ऑल अबाउट योर wool fat type of emulsifying agent, right? So let's see then our another example, that is egg yolk. Egg yolk, as I said, that is egg yolk. Egg means our, you know, who are familiar with this, that is obtained from the hen, right? Hen is a one kind of animal, right? Means fall, not animal, that is a word, but falls under animal, right? And egg yolk, though egg yolk, right, it is also used as a emulsifying agent, right? Emulsifying agent. So let's say it is mainly used in a specific kind of preparation for internal use. it is mainly used in a specific kind of preparation for internal use because it get spoiled